So who's going to emerge as the top threat when it comes to the wide receiver room in 2025? Who's going to be Lenore Seller's go-to guy, when it comes to distributing the football through the air? That's a burning question on a lot of people's mind. A lot of these media publications, a lot of Gamecock fans want to know, can Nick Harbor finally get it all together and produce and be a big-time weapon for the Gamecocks? We all know about his speed. We all know about his 5-star rating coming out of high school. But can he finally put it all together and emerge as the top guy? Can it be Mazio Bennett? Can he stay healthy? Can he be the guy that Lenore targets the most in 2025? Could it be Jared Brown? Jared Brown was hampered by a lot of injuries last year. Can he be that go-to guy? Hey, so before we get any further into this video, if you would consider hitting that subscribe button, helping me grow this channel. Also, hit that thumbs up. Thumbs up helps this channel get pushed out to more and more Gamecock fans. And like I said before in all my videos, if you're a Gamecock fan and you're not subscribed to this channel, then I don't know what the world you're waiting on. I think I put out decent content. Y'all can let me know. Y'all can let me know in the comments what I can do to improve and get better. That's always welcomed here. But I think I put out solid content. So if you would consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Like I said, it pushes it out there, gets more people in front. And get in the comments because I want to know y'all's opinion. Y'all's opinion is very valued here on this channel. Let's go and get back into it. Like I said, who's going to emerge as the top receiver for the Gamecocks in 2025? South Carolina, to be honest, Coach Fury has done an amazing job bringing in great talent. We brought in 6 true freshmen this year in the recruiting cycle. 5 of the 6 were on campus early, so they got there in the spring practice and spring ball and stuff like that. Got into strength and conditioning program and got their bodies right for SEC play, and has made an impression early on with the coaching staff. You hear a lot about Brian Rowe, Malik Clark. You've heard some rumblings about Jaden Sellers, Donovan Murph, the young man that got there in the summer. You've heard some rumblings about him too as well. So we got some talent when it comes to freshmen coming in this year. And like I told my good buddy Jordan Dealmaker on our live the other night and in the past, we got talent. Is it proven? No. But it's still talent. It's blue chip players that a lot of teams wanted coming out of high school. A lot of people was after these young men. Matter of fact, Malik Clark was once committed to Florida State, and then he decommitted and come back to the Gamecocks. So we got some dudes that's got talent in this incoming freshman class. How many we see the field? I don't know. I can't tell you that. I think we'll see a few of them out there for some games. Who's going to redshirt? That's up to the coaches. I can't say, I can't predict. But I think we'll have a few of them redshirt this year. But I think we'll see a few of them out there making big-time plays for the Gamecocks in 2025. But will they be the go-to guy for Lenore? I don't think so. I got a lot of faith riding on one of the returners coming back. As far as returners, we got Mazio Bennett. He's a sophomore. Started all 13 games or played in all 13 games last year. Balled out, man. 30 receptions, 337 yards, 3 touchdowns. He led the wide receiver room in receptions. Now, not yards, but he led the wide receiver room in receptions. He had 30 altogether for the whole year. Then we got another guy, Nick Harbor, the speedster, the 5-star, the junior from the DC area, the DMV. His freshman year, 12 receptions, 195 yards, a touchdown. Last year, 26 catches, 376 yards, 3 touchdowns, an absolute burner. He finally gave up track, his pursuit of track, and now he's focused his whole career on football. And now that Mike Fury has had a whole solid year to be with him, to coach him, to help him develop, this is my opinion, I think he's going to be that guy. I think he's going to be him, that baller, that go-to guy for Lenore, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I know there's a lot of people out there that seem to think I'm crazy, and that's cool. I'm fine with that. That's just my gut instinct, my feelings, my thoughts on that. I think he's starting. I think since he's given up track, I think he's going to be focused, more driven, running better routes, hanging on to the ball. And I'm looking for a big year from Nick Harbor, in my opinion. And I like to compare him to a former first-round draft pick in Xavier Legette. I hear a lot of rumblings and people saying that, he can't catch the ball and he's having trouble catching the ball and don't run good routes and things like that. But like I said on my live the other night, Chris Doring was in practice one day, just checking out the Gamecocks, and he noticed that Lenoris was running better, crisp routes. So take that for what you want. That's just what, he said in his, observation of a practice. Now, what can you get from a practice as far as that? I mean, who knows? Was he out there running routes like with nobody on him? Was he, guarded by one of our DBs? I don't know. But that's just what Chris Doran said. That's something he came back and said. But like I said, I kind of compare him to Xavier Legette. Xavier Legette was not our best receiver. Let's be honest. It took him, his last year, his fifth year at South Carolina, fifth year at South Carolina, before he had a really, really big season and got himself into a first-round draft pick. His first year, he only had 9 receptions, 80 yards, a touchdown. The second year, 7 receptions, 113 yards. Didn't have a touchdown that year. His third year, 8 receptions, 63 yards, a touchdown. Fourth season, 18 receptions, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then finally, after going out to Arizona and getting in some workouts with Debo, he came back from that offseason and had a monster year, 71 receptions, 1,255 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Now, since I say all that to say this, a lot of people bagged on Xavier Legette all up until his last year when he finally put it all together, because he had trouble hanging on to the ball. Okay, that was a knock on him. Now, you may or may not remember that, but that was the word going around. He was having trouble hanging on to the ball. But I think, like I said, since he worked with Debo, he got it fixed, and he had that year. And that got him into a first-round draft pick with the Panthers. So, I feel like since Nick Harbor's given up track and it's been working with Mike Fury, I think he's going to put it together this year. And that's my opinion. That's my thought. I put a poll out on my YouTube page. I think it was, my YouTube page. How many yards do you think Nick Harbor's going to get? And a majority of them went with the what I thought, about 700-800 yards. So I think he's going to have a great year and going to turn some heads this year, for the Gamecocks. You also got Jared Brown out there. Could he be that guy? Could he get more than Nick Harbor? From what I think, could he top the guy? I think he's been injured a little bit. He played in 12 games last year, 58 receptions, 740 yards, and 4 touchdowns. But he was battling some injuries. It was just some nagging injuries here and there. But he had a pretty decent year. No, my bad. That was my bad. Take that back. Scratch that. That was his year at Coastal. His junior year at South Carolina, he only had 15 receptions, 244 yards, and a touchdown. He only played 9 games. So that makes it right. He was banged up quite a bit last year. So he only played 9 games. So but his years at Coastal Carolina, he didn't play his freshman year, but won a couple games. He only had 1 reception. His redshirt freshman year, he kind of balled out, 789 yards, 6 touchdowns, all 13 games. And then, like I was saying, his redshirt sophomore year at Coastal, he had 58 receptions, 740 yards, 4 touchdowns. So there you go. That's what it meant to say in 12 games. But last year, like I said, he was battling a lot of injuries. He only played 9 games. Can he top the guy, I think, in Nick Harbor? We shall see. And then you got Vandravius Jacobs, or what they call Dre Jacobs. He's a redshirt sophomore from Florida. Young man transferred in from Florida State. His freshman year at Florida, he didn't see a whole lot of action. 3 receptions, 60 yards, and a touchdown in 5 games. So he played just enough, just 5 games. I think just enough to redshirt. His sophomore year at South Carolina, last year he only had 12 receptions, 181 yards, and he only played 9 games. So he was battling some injuries as well. So The burning question is, and that's, like I said, that's on a lot of people's mind. Like, who's going to emerge as the go-to guy for Lenore's? Could it be his brother Jordan or Jaden? I mean, not Jordan. Jaden Sellers. Who knows? I mean, I think there's going to be some connection there. I think Jaden Sellers will probably end up with a touchdown or two this year, just because it's his brother. And I know, there's a good chance if Lenore's balls out, he could end up going to the NFL draft, be a high draft pick, and he'll be out of South Carolina, and we'll move on to another quarterback. But the burning question on a lot of people's mind is, who's going to be that guy? Who's going to emerge as a deep threat, as a go-to receiver, and maybe this year a wide receiver can lead us in yards instead of a tight end. Now, we got some solid tight ends out there. Michael Smith, he's a redshirt freshman, I believe. I think he redshirted last year. He battled some injuries last year. He saw some playing time. I think he got a touchdown in last year. I don't have his stats right here in front of me, but you got him. You got Jordan Dingle. We brought over from Kentucky. He's a solid blocking tight end, a good solid catcher out of off the line. He can get off the line and go downfield and catch the ball. He got good hands. He's more of a hybrid kind of tight end wide receiver, I guess you could say. He's got solid hands. And then you also got Brady Hunt. Brady Hunt, a big-time blocker, smart guy, and can get down the field, get open, and catch the ball. He had a big key, fourth down against Missouri last year. I can't remember what it was. But, he came up big time in that game to help us keep the ball moving down the field in that game. So, we'll see. We'll see going into the season. Like I said, the first 5 games should be an opportunity for a lot of these wide receivers to hopefully ball out, and maybe we'll start seeing some separation and see who Lenore's go-to guy is. But I want to know y'all's thought. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know who y'all think is going to be the go-to guy for Lenore's, that game changer, that main target for Lenore's. I want to know y'all's opinion. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to help this channel grow. Also, go check out my buddy Jordan Dealmaker, his YouTube channel. We do Friday and Monday and Friday shows, live shows for the Gamecocks. So come check us out over there. But go check his channel out and subscribe to his channel and check out his content. Does good stuff and help his channel grow as well. I appreciate everybody, and y'all have a good evening. I'll see you in the next one.